I think I'll say that there should be a tax cut on electronic items, especially the ones which are not produced in India, because if you see the prices in India are extremely high as compared to other countries. In fact, a couple years ago, there was also a kind of a joke going around that you can go to Dubai, buy an iPhone and come back and still it would be cheaper than what you will buy in India. So that is an issue that the government, I think, should address.
I think the government should allocate a huge number for infrastructure, but not just focus on the tier 1 societies. The government should also look at the tier 2, tier 3 societies, because when we visit the tier 3 societies, you will not see the things that the so-called leaders talk about in the parliament.
This time I'm expecting that there will be a holistic development for people in this coming budget 2025, because now India is planning to become a 7 trillion economy as of 2030. So we need to focus on the MSME sectors, and we need to inculcate some things which will be good for the future development in order to sustain its economy, because sustainable development can be done only when we are actually saving things for our future implications, right?
Let's also take a look at what experts are expecting from the budget tomorrow.
I would expect the fiscal discipline to be maintained, that your fiscal deficit target of 4.1 for the coming year would be maintained. Then the infrastructure spending, which has been the backbone of the economy for the last few years, that I expect to continue, because especially since the private sector has not chipped in with their own investment, so government will have to invest heavily in infrastructure, mainly roads and railways.
The direct tax code is likely to be rewritten. I was part of the group that drafted a direct tax code in 2019 and had submitted a report to the ministry. I think it is really critical that direct taxes are simplified. It is important that the report that had, where there was a very simple draft, tax code that was drafted, that is implemented, because a lot of the difficulty in doing business comes from taxation. Secondly, I think some of the reforms that were done during COVID have now, the impact has actually already been seen through. It's important to do more reforms to ensure higher productivity and ease of doing business.
One of the big things they're going to try to achieve is to get the fiscal deficit as a percent of GDP back to that 4.5% target that they set 2 years ago. And I think that because they did very well in most of the state elections last year, and they've increased taxes and therefore collections quite a lot, and the GDP should accelerate, we think, in the second half of the year.